Before we begin, a content warning. This episode discusses suicide, pregnancy, domestic violence, and gun violence. Some of the content may be upsetting, especially to those who have experienced abuse or loss. If you or someone you know needs support, help is available. You can call or text 988 for mental health and suicide crises. For domestic violence support, call 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233, or you can text START to 88788. We begin this episode, The Potato and the Rifle, on February 5th, 1975 in Yakima, Washington. It's a Wednesday morning, the kind of crisp winter day where the sun peeks through the clouds just long enough to remind you it's still there. In a small home on East Mead Avenue, 18-year-old Linda Madison is staying with her friends at the home of Arlene Martin. She lived just a few houses down the road, but stayed at the Martin family home frequently. She's pregnant. She's young and uncertain about what's next. She's talked to her close friend Dottie about the options. It's not clear if she ever made up her mind. But what is clear? At approximately 2:45, a single shot rang out. It was a .22 caliber bullet. It entered the right temple of Linda Madison while she lay in bed. She died shortly afterward. This was not a hunting accident. This was not mistaken identity. This was murder. And in the hours that followed, one name would begin to echo across the police radios and through the halls of Davis High School: Joseph William Brooks. Joseph was 19. He had attended Davis High School, like Linda. Described by some as quiet, others as odd, he didn't stand out for his achievements. He stood out for his behavior. Joseph had a theory. He believed he could create a homemade silencer for a rifle, and the answer, he thought, was a potato. A potato pushed onto the end of a .22 caliber rifle. It sounds bizarre, even laughable, if it weren't so tragic. But Joseph wasn't joking. He tested the idea. In fact, this strange and grim innovation, the potato silencer, has appeared in more than one crime over the years. While it's not nearly as effective as seen in fiction, the myth persists, partly because it's accessible and partly because it sounds just plausible enough. In Joseph's case, it added another layer to a disturbing story. So how did Joseph become the prime suspect? It started with his own words. After the shooting, Joseph fled to his family's home and confessed. He told his brother, his stepmother, and his father that he had killed Linda. He said he wanted to die, and he even asked his father to shoot him. His father instead called the police. Joseph was arrested. Officers found the .22 rifle used in the killing, and a suicide note stating that he had killed Linda Madison. But that is not the end of this story. In the days and weeks that followed, Joseph changed his account, and now he claimed he had gone to the house intending to kill Linda and then himself. But when he got there, he said he changed his mind. He told her he had come to shoot her, but then set the rifle down at her bedside. He claimed to have left the room and returned later to find her dead. It was a strange story, and investigators weren't buying it. There were no powder burns on Linda's skin. No stippling, the kind that would appear if a gun had been held at close range. A ballistic expert in the trial testified that the muzzle had been at least 12 inches away from her when the trigger was pulled. And then there was the potato. It always goes back to the potato. Joseph said he placed a potato over the barrel of the rifle to be used as a silencer. And investigators did find potato splatter on the wall above the bed. But, and this is important, no potato substance was found in or around the wound. Tests showed that if the gun was fired within 6 inches, potato residue would appear in the surrounding area. But at 12 inches, it didn't. That meant the shot was likely fired from more than a foot away. Again, inconsistent with suicide. The physical evidence did not match Joseph's new story. This wasn't a case with an easy motive. Some said Joseph was obsessed. Others said he was simply unstable. Linda had broken up with him. She didn't want him around, and she had told people that she didn't want him at the house. But he kept coming anyways, angry, persistent, sometimes yelling, throwing objects at the house. There were warning signs. And when Linda died, she was surrounded by the people who cared for her, a house full of friends that were as close as family, asleep just a few rooms away. Joseph knew that. He had been told not to come back. Joseph came back anyway, and this time, he brought a gun. Who was Linda? To many, she was a friend. A high school senior at Davis High School, she was known to be kind, thoughtful, yet deeply private. Those who knew her say she had plans for the future, even if those plans were still being formed. The baby she was carrying added uncertainty as well, but also seriousness to her choices. According to those close to her, she wasn't giving up. She was trying to move forward. And then her life was ended by someone who claimed to love her. Next time, we'll explore Joseph's changing statements, including the letters that he wrote while he was in jail awaiting trial, and how his version of events shifted over time. We'll also look more closely at the trial, the witnesses, the strategy, and how the jury came to a verdict. Thank you for listening to The DeLo Show. I'm Ryan DeLozier. If you're enjoying the show, please rate and review wherever you're listening, and share it with someone who loves true crime with a local connection. If you or someone you know is in crisis, help is available. For mental health or suicide support, call or text 888 anytime. For domestic violence help, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233. You can also text START to 88788. That's START to 88788. You are not alone, and you are not without options. We will see you next time.